Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Love to see everybody here with me for another walk and talk, I guess. Again, I really like these videos. I think it gives me the ability to get in my steps, but more importantly, have conversations with you guys, especially around engineering, tech, and the biggest one, of course, finances, which will be today's video. Now, real quick, guys, I want to talk to you about something that hit me pretty hard today, or should I say not today, but a couple days ago when I was having conversations with a family member who is similar to age as me. And the interesting thing was, we're very similar in age, in fact, actually the same age, except we have built a 7-figure portfolio while this person that I'm referring to, this family member, is just getting started. No shame in that, but I want to talk to you guys today about start early and get started. That's the biggest message for today. Just get started. So guys, before we go into any details, again, make sure you go ahead and give me a like for the video as it helps the channel grow. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that way you're notified whenever I upload new videos to the channel. And lastly, of course, share this with a family member or friend so that way they can learn and grow with us. And one other item, I keep getting a lot of emails about how do folks get in contact with me when it comes to coaching calls. Again, guys, information will be in the description. And what I'll also do for you is I'll put a comment on the top of the comments. I'll pin it so that way it has all the links that you need in order to get in touch with me. So let's talk a little bit about this, guys. Again, as I was saying, I had a family member come over and visit me, and we love this person dearly. And they got to hang out with us for a week and see how interesting we live our lives. Now, some of it they may not agree with, and some of it I guess they agree with and enjoyed. But one of the things that I noticed is they were asking me questions about our financial situation, only because we were talking about how we spend money on certain things, and the numbers that we were throwing out seemed to surprise them. They're like, holy smokes, you guys spend that kind of money on your expenses? And then they got to thinking, well, how much is it that you guys are making, or how much money do you have? I can tell that the wheels were turning. And of course, as my wife and I are always happy to share, and when I say happy to share, I mean we're willing to teach people what we have done in order to build a 7-figure portfolio early on in life. And for those who are willing to listen and willing to soak up the information, we are here to help. Hence why this channel exists. So again, as we were talking and we were saying all different kinds of things, I started to notice something. It almost seems like this person who is visiting me, it dawned on them that, holy smokes, you know what? I haven't started anything. And here is another individual who is at the same age as me. They're way far ahead. Now, the interesting thing about this, and I always tell people all the time, we don't compare. Comparing is something that will steal your joy in life, and it's horrible. It really, really is. So never compare, but what I also would say is that it helps you at least understand where you should be, or if you don't know where you should be, you can kind of bounce ideas off with other folks. So here's the thing, guys. This family member, again, they started to ask questions, and they started to realize that they were far behind. And I say all that again because, again, we share the information just to help out others, not so much of a comparison. But it really got me thinking that a lot of people, they just never start. They are so afraid because it's something new, it's something that they don't know, that they say, oh, well, you know what, I'll get to it when I get to it. Or what I started to notice when we were talking about money is they kept telling me, oh, well, I'm not into this stuff, right? This is something that you like to do, so of course you're gonna be financially ahead and do much better than I am because you love this stuff, I don't. Or they kept repeating that, hey, you're very smart when it comes to this. You know how to invest. You know how to do this. You know how to do that. I told this person that I wasn't born with all this information. I went and sought it out. The information's out there. The problem is most people do not want to start, or they're scared to start because they don't know. It's something different. And when this person also told me that I know how to invest, and because of that, I'm doing very well, and they don't know, right? That's one of the big excuses they kept giving me. I broke it down and told them how easy it is to become a millionaire But the problem is nobody does it. That's really what it is. Nobody does it. And so again, this video is all about just get started. Go ahead and get that journey going, because it is very vital for your success. And especially later on when you retire and you can't work, you're going to have some type of resources in order to carry you along for the next, let's say, for example, you retire at 65. Most people are living into their 80s and 90s. I mean, you're talking about 20 to 30 years of not working and having to have money. You need something generating money for you to be able to carry you into those years. Now, I'm going to give you guys a quick little nugget here. And this is how easy it is to become a millionaire. I'm not even joking with you. I'll go ahead and put on the screen here an easy thing that you can do. But as you're seeing on the screen here, this is a mutual fund calculator. Now in this calculator here, we're gonna put some numbers here together. But the first thing that you're gonna see is hey, what are we initially going to invest in this particular calendar year? And I'm gonna put in here $7,000. And if you're asking me why I put in $7,000, well, if you're not familiar, that is the maximum contribution that you can do for a Roth IRA. So now that you're doing your maximum contribution for a Roth IRA, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen my videos, check out my channel. I've done videos on details what a Roth IRA is. Essentially, I'll give you the skinny here in 2 seconds. It gives you tax-free money for the rest of your life. So essentially, it's an individual retirement account. And when you get to that magical age where you can start pulling out money from the account, you'll never be taxed on the growth on the account. And the reason why you're never going to be taxed on that money is because you're paying the taxes today. And so back to the quick little example of how you can become a millionaire. So $7,000 is your yearly contribution, maximum contribution that you can do if you're under 50. If you're over 50, they have catch-up contributions and you can do a little bit more. But let's continue here with our example. So you put away $7,000. Next item on the list is asking you, is your time horizon? How long are you going to invest for? So let's say 30 years. And the reason why I say that is because this particular person that I was talking with, they're in their early 30s. And so, of course, 30 years from now, it'll put them around that 65 age range where, of course, you can start thinking about retirement. So let's just say you have a time horizon of 30 years. Now, the fund expense ratio, next item on the list here, what does that even mean? Well, of course, a lot of my other videos already cover this, but a fund expense ratio is how much money does it cost to run the fund. So essentially, you're paying fees to the fund manager or the fund company. So these are fees that are taken out as you start to make money, and you want to make sure that your expense ratios are as low as possible, and of course your rate of return is higher. Now, next item on the list here says future planned contributions. Now, of course, we know that a Roth IRA changes every year, and it changes because you have to account for inflation. So while this year is $7,000, next year will probably be $7,500, and so on and so forth. But in order to make this example a little simpler, we're just going to assume that $7,000 is going to be our contributions every single year going forward. So the example that you're seeing here on the screen is not even exactly correct. It's going to change over time because there's inflation that occurs, and the IRS, of course, calculates for that inflation and adjusts how much you can put in every single year. But again, to keep this simple, we're going to go ahead and assume that we're going to put in $7,000 every single year afterwards. And lastly, but not least, the next item on the list to plug into our mutual fund calculator is going to be our rate of return. And we're going to go ahead and plug in a 14% rate of return. And people are going to tell me that that is not possible. Usually you're going to do anywhere between 7 to 10%. So 14 is unreasonable. And I will tell you guys, if you think 14% is unreasonable, then you haven't looked hard enough. I can show you a couple of funds that have done 14%. So let's go ahead and plug in 14%. So net of fees, you're looking at a value of $3.1 million. So think about that, guys. $3.1 million. Now, if we do a little bit of math here, $7,000 a year is a little over $583, almost close to 600 bucks, but $583. And so with $583 per month invested automatically, and you don't even have to think about it, you can become a millionaire just by sitting there and doing nothing. All you have to do is set up the account for the first time, set up automatic withdrawals from, say, your checking account, your savings account, whatever that looks like, and then have it go automatically into this account. And all you got to do is sit there for 30 years. Like, you don't have to do anything. And that's how easy it is to become a millionaire. And I've just told folks all the time, all you got to do is get started. The problem is nobody gets started. Everyone thinks that it's such rocket science when it really isn't. And then the other item that I've also noticed too is that people they don't get started because they don't have any money to get started. They rather pay a car payment. So instead of a huge car payment or something along those lines, you can take the $600 or $583, take that and put it into this account and sock it away for your future. And again, most people would rather just live for today, and they would rather buy these cars and all these other stuff than to think about their future. It's really that simple. And so once I broke it down to this person that I was talking to, it almost seemed like there was no other excuses. And the first thing that they told me was, hey, how do I go ahead and get started on this journey? And to be honest with you, I was very, very proud of them for asking me the questions, and more importantly, getting started on their financial future, because a lot of people don't realize this, but when you start early, it's not so much how much money you put in, it's the time, right? So you can start off with a little bit of money when you start early, and it'll compound and turn into something massive because you have time on your hands, and time is actually more important than how much money you're putting in. So anyways, guys, that is today's lesson, is go ahead and get started. Don't be afraid to get started. And ask the questions, right? If you have any questions, the people that have gotten here and have built these portfolios, we're happy to help you guys. So with that being said, if you have any additional questions and you need somebody to talk to, my links will be, of course, pinned in the comments. And also as well, I'll leave links to my calendar. So if you want to find time on my calendar to chit chat, that will also be in the description as well. So anyways, guys, I'm going to finish off my walking here. Hopefully you learned something in today's video. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Again, give me a like for the video as it helps the channel grow. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so that way you're notified whenever I upload new videos to the channel. And lastly, of course, share this with a family member or friend so that way they too can go ahead and get started. Oh, and one last thing, guys. If you don't want to wait for my next video, YouTube thinks that this video is just for you right on the screen. So go ahead and click that one, give it a watch, and I'll see everybody in the next one.